We had 102 shots fired incidents last year, and we're on pace to have 162 in 2021.
Brooklyn Park police say gun violence is at an all-time high, and it's happening all over the city. As gun crimes increase, police and city leaders search for solutions. Those solutions haven't been easy to come by. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us some non-traditional steps police are taking to stop the violence.
I'm concerned for what this summer brings.
For Brooklyn Park Police to say summer has gotten off to a rocky start would be an understatement. In the month of June alone, there have been at least 18 shots fired cases, with 4 people hit by bullets, including 1 fatality.
We've never seen the amount of lawlessness that we're seeing.
The police chief says the department isn't getting anywhere on the cases, and he says people won't cooperate with investigations while others interfere at crime scenes.
The violent crimes are happening all over the city, but this Zane corridor is a hotspot. Police are increasing patrols, and they're teaming up with religious leaders to try to make inroads with the community.
God, we need your divine wisdom and direction.
Faith leaders, police, and city officials recently met to talk about stopping the violence.
God is calling on his faith leaders here today to rebuild trust, to rebuild accountability, to rebuild hope.
They issued a passionate plea for peace.
We must come together in Brooklyn Park. 2 critically important forces in any community are faith leaders and the police department.
We're hoping to rid our community with the lawlessness that's going on right now. It's bad. It's getting really bad.
Because here's what we know. We know we got to do something.
Wednesday, Reverend Jerry McAfee took action.
Endless mercy, endless mercy.
Launching a 21 Days of Peace initiative in Brooklyn Park.
The goal is to get the church out of the church into the community, because most of those young men and those young women, they're connected to somebody that we know.
As we kick this first day off in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center, we pray God for the peace that surpasses all understanding.
Reverend McAfee, who lives in Brooklyn Park, will join other volunteers from local churches to visit hotspots in the city.
For 21 straight days, we put 63rd and Zane on lockdown.
For the next 3 weeks, there will be nonstop presence of pastors, church, and community members at this strip mall where 2 shootings recently occurred.
It's important to be out here because our community is hurting, and the Brooklyns need people to stand up and stand with them.
The goal is to lower crime and connect with the community.
Let's take back our city by standing and uniting together.
A similar plan in Minneapolis had a positive impact.
In every place where we planted our feet, violence went down.
And we know that fear is abundant here in this neighborhood. Let's cast out all fear.
The volunteers are armed with resources, employment, and food shelf information, prayers, and passion to help their neighbors.
And try to communicate with the people who are hanging out and figure out what we can do to help them, or what it is they feel that's missing from their community to get them out and doing something else.
The work can be dangerous. In Minneapolis, one of the volunteers was hit by a stray bullet. I asked Lee if she was concerned.
No, I'm not. Actually, I come down here all the time. I actually come down here to shop.
Another nonprofit group is also proposing to get involved. Minnesota Acts Now plans to have boots on the ground in Brooklyn Park.
We are not here to fight. We are here to bridge, to bring people together and say, hey, listen, there's a better way of life.
Both groups say they want peace and hope to remain long after the crime-fighting initiatives end.
Well, I hope it looks a little bit bigger and brighter and broader. People out communicating with each other, engaging with each other. But I know that I live here. I love my community. I love my city.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
A shooting on a highway in Plymouth Tuesday night has left 1 man dead. Now investigators are looking for help locating the suspect's vehicle. Delane Cleveland joins us with more from Plymouth.
We believe there was some sort of traffic altercation between the 2 vehicles.
Around 10 p.m. Tuesday, Plymouth police say 2 vehicles were traveling southbound on Highway 169 when someone in a light-colored SUV shot at another vehicle, hitting the driver. The victim's vehicle veered off the road, went through a fence, and slammed into several cars parked at the Manor Royal Apartments in Plymouth. Police say the injured driver was taken to North Memorial Health Hospital in Robbinsdale, where he died.
This was one of the most tragic events that I have witnessed in my 20 years in policing. It was really truly a senseless act that resulted in the loss of a human life. And our thoughts and prayers go out to the family, friends, and those affected by this horrible event.
Meanwhile, police say the shooter fled the scene and they're still trying to locate that person's vehicle, which they believe has damage on the driver's side rear bumper. Now they're hoping the public can help.
I'm confident that someone has some relevant information to this case, whether you were just driving in the area along 169 around 10 o'clock last night, or have some information relevant to any suspect vehicle.
Investigators say they're still reviewing surveillance video, but they're asking anyone with any information to call the Plymouth Police Department. In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The city of Golden Valley recently implemented its first ever energy action plan. If fully implemented, it could save the city, residents, and businesses more than $8 million in energy costs the first year alone. As part of that plan, the city approved an agreement this week authorizing home energy squad visits. The program offers residents the opportunity to receive inspections to reduce their energy costs. Golden Valley would pay at least half of the cost for the visits. Residents can receive help on installing programmable thermostats, weather stripping, and other items. If you've been through downtown Robbinsdale, you know Whiz Days is right around the corner. The Lions Bistro is one of the events that will be back. You can purchase Hackenmuller's hot dogs, brats, and burgers on the plaza, served up by the Robbinsdale Lions on Thursday and Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. For more on the events offered, go to robbinsdalewhizbangdays.com.
Some state playoffs for American Legion Baseball are right around the corner. A couple of local teams tuned up with a meeting and a holiday tournament semifinal. Jason Malillo has the highlights.
At the Delano Stars and Stripes Legion Baseball Tournament, it's Osseo against Wayzata in the semifinals. Top second, Osseo's Davis Wick slices a hit the other way. Wyatt Doubler motors home and slides in safe for the first run of the game. Derek Nims rolls a hit up the middle. Spencer Peterson and Wick score for Osseo. Then Brady Kwan's two-out hit scores Nims. 4 runs for Osseo in the top of the second, and they're in control. Bottom second, Wayzata with runners at second and third, but Kwan makes a great diving catch to end the threat. Wayzata does get on the board in the third. Base hit by Joe Gershala scores Maverick Lawn. It would be 4-2 after 3. Wayzata loads the bases in the fourth, but nice defense again by Osseo as they twist a double play to end the frame. Top 6, Osseo pitcher Matthew Kitzman drops in a hit to plate Tyler Rose, and Osseo is up 6-2. And Kitzman is steady on the hill and earns a 7-2 victory as Osseo advances to the championship. They would lose to Edina and have to settle for runner-up. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
Thanks, Jason. After a 1-year hiatus, the nation's largest youth soccer tournament returns to the National Sports Center starting this weekend. We talked to Sarah Soley from USA Cup about the excitement surrounding this year's tournament.
We are so excited to have kids back on the fields. We're expecting about 800 teams, so it's fantastic.
One thing different from this year compared to 2019 and previous years, though, no international teams. All those 800 teams are domestic.
Absolutely. It's unfortunate, but we understand, and we're just excited to have kids coming back to play. We will have players from nearly 17 states.
You talk about the excitement on your end. How excited were teams when they were contacting you from whatever state to say, hey, can we play this year?
The kids are excited, the parents are excited, coaches, and we also know international teams want to come back, so we're looking forward to 2022 as well.
You've got the USA Cup weekend tournament and then the regular tournament. Tell us the details of each tourney.
Yeah, so the weekend starts on Friday. It runs Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have a lot of teams coming in, nearly half, and then the remainder of the teams come in and they play Tuesday through the following Saturday, which includes opening ceremony, which is one of the most popular things here at USA Cup.
In addition to opening ceremonies, I know you usually have some other activities outside of just soccer going on. Anything special for this year?
Absolutely. So Target is our title sponsor, and they have some great activations coming on campus. I think the kids will be excited and surprised. We have a few dances, a movie night, so plenty of things for the kids to do besides play soccer.
We've talked about no international teams. I know a lot of referees from this tournament are off from foreign countries as well. How have you been able to fill the void for that, for these matches coming up?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it's been a challenge. Referees in general are down in numbers due to COVID. A lot of people didn't get their license or didn't renew, so we are desperately seeking referees, but we've worked hard to bring people in from across the state and are actually setting up a transportation system to bring people in from outside the metro area in to play for the tournament.
Tell me about COVID protocols. Is there much of that going on with this tournament?
Well, all along we've been working with the Department of Health, so with the restrictions being lifted, we don't have a ton of hard and fast rules. Obviously, we're going to continue to ask people to social distance. If you're not vaccinated, please wear a mask inside. Additionally, we're working with the Department of Health to have a vaccination site on campus during the Cup. So for those kids that are eligible and interested, they could get vaccinated while they're here.
How are the fields holding up, and how many will be used for the tournament?
Our fields were in the best condition in many years until the drought, and we definitely are hoping for more rain between now and the Cup. They did get a little greener this week, which is great, but overall they're in pretty decent shape, and I think we'll be using about 50 fields for the Cup.
And that's all for sports. I'm John Jacobson.